What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Panthers advice today, man. We got to talk about the Panthers defense. Now, you could say Evero, you could say Dan Morgan, you could say the safeties, the defensive line, the linebackers, injuries. We're going to talk about all of that, man. Let's jump into the video. So as we jump into our video, okay, right here we're looking at Evero, okay? You're going to see the team ranks. Great in Denver. That's why Carolina brought him over. Pretty good in Carolina last year, and then this year was an absolute flop. Again, injuries, a lot of things happened. Look down here, coaching history. He's been going in the NFL since '07, so he's done his time. He's been around the block a time or two. But what I want you guys to look at right here is how long he's been with the Rams. Let's change my camera real quick. He's been with the Rams, or was with the Rams, since 2021, then went to the Broncos, then came to the Panthers. Now, the Ram thing is going to be important. Remember what I said. 2021, that was the last year he was with the Rams. Why do I bring that up? Take a look right here. That is Jordan Fuller. Now, remember what I said about the Rams. Where did Jordan Fuller come from before Carolina? He spent 4 years in LA. Now, with that being said, Evero was only there up until 2021. So he probably played 2 years with Evero. That was it. But this is player number one, and Fuller looked rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I think Damani looked good towards the end of the season, but Fuller, he looked rough. Now, who's player number two gonna be? Let's take a look. That is Nick Scott. And where did Nick Scott come from? The Rams. We're starting to see a little bit of correlation right here. Now, here's my thing. All right, like I said before, Evero, he's been doing this for almost 20 years. You know, it seems like he put his name out to bring these two guys in, Fuller, Nick Scott. The contracts weren't huge, and I said that a lot in the offseason, right? The contracts weren't huge, right? It was pennies compared to what the front seven got. But if you look, Fuller comes from LA, Nick Scott comes from LA. And what was Evero doing before, he was the defensive passing game coordinator? He was coaching the safeties. So he brings over, Fuller, a safety, and he brings over Nick Scott, a safety. This isn't looking good. All right, this isn't looking good. Let's keep it going. Next person to look at is Michael Jackson right here. Now, is Michael Jackson correlated to Evero? No, Michael Jackson came because he was up in Seattle. Who else was in Seattle at one point? Dan Morgan, Dave Canales. Connections. Okay, so who do you think pulled the trigger there? All right? When they traded, I believe, Michael Barrett to get Michael Jackson? I don't think that was an Evero move. I could be wrong. But that seems to me more like a Dan Morgan, Dave type move. Let's keep it going. Then we have Josie Jewell right here. All right, and where did Josie Jewell come from? Denver. Who was in Denver with him? Evero. That's when Evero had a great defense. So when he brought Josie Jewell over, I'm like, oh, perfect, right? You brought in the middle linebacker of that core. Perfect for the Panthers. But he didn't seem to mesh well either. So now Fuller, no good. All right. Nick Scott, no good. Josie Jewell, I won't say no good, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. Let's keep it going. Then we've got our boy Clowney right here. Let me turn off the light real quick. All right, we've got our boy Clowney right here. This one's not an Evero. I believe this one was kind of a hometown kind of thing. Dave and Dan decided to do this. Okay. Clowney wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. I think in the last few weeks, he started to kind of turn up towards good. I won't say great, but turn up towards good. Here's the thing with Clowney. A lot of people say, he does great against stopping the run. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that too much, all right? They're like, he doesn't need to get pressure on the quarterback. Okay. Let me get this straight. We bring in Clowney. We release K'Lavon Chaisson. I think that's how you say his name, K'Lavon Chaisson. We release him. He was supposed to be our opposite outside linebacker. We release him before week 1. we now have no idea who our outside linebacker is going to be, right? Because DJ Wanham's hurt. So if Clowney isn't going to get pressure, the ends aren't really going to get pressure. Derek Brown gets hurt. Who's supposed to get pressure, right? Let's say we're talking after week 2. Derek Brown gets hurt, right? And this is why I made the video about Clowney. Who's going to get pressure if Clowney isn't? So that's the problem I have with this, right? When we bring in Clowney and then people are defending him, he's not supposed to get pressure. Well, who is? Right? It didn't make any sense. So Clowney, he wasn't a bad pickup this year. I don't know that it fit the scheme, to be honest with you. Then we've got A'Shawn Robinson. And where did he come from? LA. And this is one I felt like Evero hit on. And I think A'Shawn would have had an even better year had Derek Brown not gotten hurt. So I like the pick right here. Overall, when it comes to pickups, not bad this year, right? Draft was way better. But as you saw, the front 7, and that's not including DJ Wanham, it just wasn't great. So the next thing we're going to do real quick is we're going to take a look at the depth chart. All right, we're going to take a look at the depth chart, and we're going to fill it in and see, did this team really have a chance or not? Let's get after it. So at the nose, we got Shaw right here, right? Defensive ends, we got LeBron Ray right here. All right. Again, stay with me now. Stay with me. All right, we got Ray right there. And then opposite him was A'Shawn Robinson. We're probably just going to do initials. I think it'll be a little bit easier. Okay. So that's kind of our base 3 right there. A'Shawn Robinson, Shaw Tuttle, and then LeBron Ray. I don't love it if I'm being honest, okay? Then right here, you got Jadeveon Clowney, okay? So we got Clowney right there. This is where it gets interesting, okay? Because you got Josie, he kind of played kind of both to a point. It kind of depended on what the offense did. We'll put Josie right here, all right? We got JJ right here. And right here, it was Trevin Wallace at one point. It was Jacoby Windham. It was Chandler. There was a bunch of guys playing right here, okay? But right now, it's Jacoby, the rookie, so we're going to put him right here, all right? And opposite him is going to be who? DJ Wanham, all right? So we got DJ right here. Now to the fun stuff, okay? DB1 will put JC Horn right here. Bang, you got Horn right there. Put Mike Jack right here. We're going to go over the top just so you guys know. That's DB number 2. Then the safeties right here. So we got Xavier Woods. Bang and bang. And then you got Damani Richardson. Now, when we look at the depth chart right here, when we look at this, how do we feel about this team? Okay, so we got Derek Brown coming in. He's probably going to go what? Opposite right here. So we're going to have A'Shawn Robinson. You're going to have Derek Brown right here. Okay, so could this get changed out to nose tackle? Potentially, because we were the worst in the NFL when it came to run defense. I mean, it was pathetic. Okay, so nose tackle, expect a new one. It could be competing in the offseason. Could be Tuttle, Crumdy, or a different rookie, or a veteran. We'll see what happens there. So front 3, I'm not mad at A'Shawn, Tuttle, Derek Brown. So we got our linebackers right here. Let's talk about it real quick. You got Clowney. He's getting up there in age. Josie Jewell, I'm pretty sure he's getting up there in age as well. You got Trevin Wallace, Jacoby Windham right here. Both rookies, so that's good. And you got DJ Wanham, a little bit younger. Honestly, on paper, it doesn't look bad, but I don't know how it's going to be next year, to be honest with you. I mean, DJ Wanham wasn't bad, but if he's the only one who can get pressure, I don't love this 3-4 look. They had Clowney drop back a lot, especially the last half of the season. I think we got to make a change somewhere. We got to bring in an edge rusher, and I assume that's who they're going to go after, either round 1 or round 2, if you ask me. So the linebacking core, it's not bad on paper, right? Clowney, Josie Jewell, Trevin Wallace, then you got Jacoby Windham under him. You got DJ Wanham over here. It's not bad, okay? But it has potential to be a lot better. Talk about the DBs real quick. You're going to have Horn right here. Okay, I'm not mad at that. And the other side is going to be Mike Jack, as we talked about before. honestly pretty good according to the Panthers depth chart. You're going to have Dane Jackson, who I'm mixed on. Okay, then you got Shaw Smith-Wade, and Shaw Smith-Wade to me developed a lot. You got Bartholomew, who didn't look great. But then you got Farley, who didn't look great either. Both of them got tested in the red zone. I think Farley was one-on-one with Mike Evans, and Mike Evans beat him a couple times. Bartholomew got beat twice by Drake London. Is it fair for them to go against two top receivers in the NFL? Say what you want to say. So those are kind of our cornerbacks. They're not bad. I think Shaw Smith-Wade is developing as a good slot. So I'm not mad at the cornerback position. I think honestly, we're probably set there, to be honest with you. Maybe need a little bit more depth, but for the most part, not bad when it comes to corners. Probably, honestly, the safest bet. Next is the safeties. All right, so as of right now, you got Damani. All right, you got DR. Not Dior. You got DR right here, Damani Richardson. And then you got Woods. Something has to change. Too many big plays were allowed this year. Too many big plays. Too many big plays, And a lot of it was zone coverage because we didn't run man a lot, to be honest with you. We didn't run man, and when we did, it felt like we were allowing everything kind of underneath. So when we ran man coverage, you're playing 5 to 7 yards off, all right? It just allowed everything underneath. I think what the Jamar Chase one where he took it 50 yards was the only time where we allowed cushion. They went deep. Right, they caught it short and then they took it deep. We have to do better when it comes to safeties. I don't mind Damani, and I would like to see him compete for a starting job. But Xavier Woods, I just think you have to move his role. I think you move him into a nickel package, and instead of being a nickel back, you almost use him as a robber type. You're almost going to blitz him off the edge. You got to change up Woods' role. He's just not a free safety. Time and time again, we've seen it. Where he's supposed to be sitting here and he's over here, or he's supposed to be sitting deep and he's underneath and the team's throwing over the top. Now, it's not just Woods. Like we talked about before, Fuller got beat, Nick Scott got beat. They all got beat. So while Woods is still the starter, they all got got. All right. So when I look at this depth chart and I look at the defense, we're probably most set at DBs, to be honest with you, as far as cornerbacks. Safeties, I would like to see them draft one, bring in another one, a veteran. Linebacking core, I can tell you right now, we're going to get a couple edge guys, and then we're probably going to get a nose tackle. And we're going to do some mock drafts later on the season. Stay tuned for that. So that's kind of my thoughts on the season. Evero, he brought in his guys. He brought in Fuller and he brought in Nick Scott, and they did not pan out. They just didn't pan out. So we'll see what happens there. Evero is staying for another year, it looks like. Hopefully we make some better offseason trades when it comes to the secondary this year. Mike Jack was good, right? But hopefully we make a couple ones that are a little bit better. Let me know your thoughts, guys. That's going to wrap it up. Panthers Devices out. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy.